right, thank you so much. Thanks so much. Uh, So I want to start. Okay. In the last time we did capsule simulation, practice one. Okay. I was looking at your numbers, okay, a little bit, not in detail. Then you are doing pretty good, pretty good. So every team has a good start at this point. So I'm not worried about it. Okay. So if you have any question, any concern about the simulation, always just send me an email. Okay. Then I will try to help you. Okay. So this time we go back to the textbook. Okay. So we are going to talk about today. We will talk about technology, intellectual assets. Very simple topic. Okay. The topic itself is not simple, okay? But in this class, okay, in this textbook, okay, this topic just treated as a simple, okay, but strong, powerful things, technology. Okay, so basically, technology, where is it coming from? Human and human's network. So how to deal with this two sources of technology? That is the central topic of this chapter. Okay, let's talk about that. All right. Before starting, I just want to make sure our schedule. So today we talk about firm's intellectual assets, chapter 4. And the next week, we are going to talk about two topics, okay, which are the fundamental ideas of strategy management, business level strategy and corporate level strategy. Three levels of strategy, actually. Functional level strategy. Functional level strategy is about the function, okay? It's about the efficiency. And business level strategy, how to compete, a single business unit. And corporate level strategy, so where to compete, So you have multiple business units, then how to compete using this multiple business units. Okay? All right. The second thing is apply your simulation within the concepts discussed during the class. Why we are doing the simulation? Because I want to maximize your learning. Okay. So, in a business school, big problem is when you take a class, okay, usually a single class can focus on the single dimensions of business. For example, finance. Finance class just focus on finance. Marketing class just focus on marketing things. Okay? Then we do not have enough opportunities to practice. Okay? Consider all of this multiple dimensions of business. Okay? So that's why we are having a simulation, because it's a good opportunity to practice, okay? Comprehensively consider multiple dimensions of business at the same time. Okay? That's why we care about our simulations. That's why we care about the strategy management. Okay? So anytime you have some concepts in this class, then you can apply it into a simulation. Oh, this is, if I say reduce cost, then you think how to reduce cost in the simulations, something like this. Okay? So let's move. Okay, let's start with one case. So your one case is ready on canvas. Chapter 4 case is now ready. Then I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. Please go ahead and take the one keys. We want to discuss afterwards. Okay. I'm gonna mute my microphone. When you're done, please type done. Okay? I want to save our time. Right. Left down. Jennifer and Isabella work here. Okay. Right. Anybody needs more time? Please let me know. I need more time. Please let me know. Okay. Okay. Stephen, you can just keep doing. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about the quiz. Okay. Intellectual assets, knowledge, technology, human networks, something like that. Okay. So number one, in the current economy, reliance on the three traditional financial statements, including income statement, balance sheet, and statement of cash flow, has increased. True or false? Yes, it's false. What to say is false? Why? Why is it false? This is a central notion of this chapter, the nature of technology. It will decrease. Yes, it will decrease. Why? Why? Financial statements.
I feel like companies are starting to take a more holistic approach to things and not just worrying about the financial statements.
Okay, holistic approach. Isabella is talking about holistic approach. Okay, exactly. Okay, probably Isabella points and Walter points are same. Walter says because of the new focus on intangible resources. Okay, think about that. Financial statements. They are record of the past. Okay, they didn't include any value of technology. Actually, some financial statements include intangible assets, but it is not working properly in many cases. Okay? That's why people use okay, more and more okay, other types of statements, evaluations about the company. Okay? So intangible resources, intellectual assets, okay, people, network. Okay? This becomes more and more important. Okay, in these days. Number two, the creation of new knowledge involves the continual interaction of explicit and tacit knowledge. True or false? Yes, it's true. It's true. Okay, explicit and tacit knowledge. Okay, explicit and tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge you cannot see it. It's something like a know-how. Okay, it's something like a know-how. Explicit knowledge, it can be codified, something like documents. Okay. Number three, the 360-degree evaluation and feedback system addresses many of the limitations of traditional approaches to evaluating human capital. Yes, it's true. What is that? What is that? The 360-degree evaluation and feedback systems. What is that? Anyone has a good sense about it? This evaluation system?
From my understanding, the 360-degree like feedback system just like gives like direct reports about like the internal and external customers, like that person's performance. So it just gives like really good feedback about like how just like the organization is performing as a whole.
Okay, good, Noah. Good point. Good points. Okay. It's a very simple system. Think about that. Traditional ones. Who will you evaluate your performance? Your boss, right? Your boss. In the 360-degree evaluation system, everyone can evaluate your performance. Okay? Right? This is a 360-degree evaluations. So customers, your juniors, stakeholders, outside, whoever, okay? Anyone who is involved with this job can be your evaluator. This is 360-degree evaluation system. Okay, so we actually use it. Okay, usually your performance in the classroom will be evaluated by a professor, me. Okay, but actually some part of your evaluations are evaluated by not me, but your classmates, your presentations. Okay? So this is an example of 360-degree evaluation system. Okay. So why we care about this system? Because this system can overcome some limitations of traditional approaches. Okay? Why do you care about this evaluation? Because we care about human capital, people. Why we care about people? Because people create innovations, intellectual assets, technology. Okay? Two sources of technology, people and networks of people. That's why we care about these systems. Okay. Number 4, workforces that reflect demographic changes will become more homogeneous over the next few decades with regard to gender, race, or as forth, right? It should be heterogeneous. Okay? It should be heterogeneous. Number 5, unique bundles of resources can contribute to employee competitive advantages. Yes, it's true. Okay. Number 6, social network analysis. Now, we talk about people here, and now we talk about social networks. Okay. Why we care about social networks? Because it creates intellectual assets. People and the networks of people. Okay. Social network analysis can be used to help identify groups or clusters of individuals that comprise the network, individuals who link the clusters and other network members. Yes, that's true. Social network analysis is a simple tool, very, very simple tool. It has developed a lot these days, but basically this analysis has node and lines. Nodes, a person, and line is a network. So between two nodes, there's one node. Okay. So I will show you an example of social network analysis. There are many, many measures in social network analysis, but not in this class. We do not cover them, but there are many, many advanced measures in the social network analysis. Okay. Number 7, the management of intellectual property, IP, involves, besides patents, contracts with the confidentiality and non-compete clauses, copyrights, and the development of trademarks. Yes, it's true. That's true. Okay. So IP, when we talk about IP, people usually think about patents, but it can have the variety of its forms. Okay. So intellectual assets can be patent, can be contract, and something else. Okay. Number 8, dynamic capabilities. It's a good theory. Dynamic capabilities include the ability to sense and seize new opportunities, generate new knowledge, and reconfigure existing assets and capabilities. Yes, it's true. Basically, dynamic capability is a very simple theory. Okay. Firms firms should have ability to to be consistent with external and internal environments, especially in terms of intellectual assets, knowledge. Okay? So if firms have a knowledge that can be consistent with a change of environments, this firm will perform better. This is a dynamic capability theory. Okay? All right. So simple. All right. We will talk about IP, intellectual property. We'll talk about knowledge, technology, or something like that. Okay? And then two sources of technology, intellectual assets. What? People, networks of people. Okay? That's it. All right? Then this chapter is done. All right. Any question, comment? So if you don't, please say no. Then I will move. Okay, good. Let's move. So if you have any question, concern, just jump in, then we can discuss. Okay. So this topic is about intellectual capital. All right. So knowledge. We talked about human capital, people, and social capital, network. All right. And technology and dynamic capabilities. Okay. There are some, trends of technology. But basically, these are central ideas of this chapter. Where our intellectual assets are coming from? People, the networks of people. Okay? Where we are here. Then next time we will move to the strategic, not this one, this way. Okay? Formulations. Okay? Business level and corporate level strategies. Okay? The central idea of strategy management. Okay. All right. Look at this picture. So what do you see? Today class activity is very simple one too. Okay. What do you see? Anyone can describe what you're seeing right now? The picture?
So in the picture there is a boy, and I'm guessing that he doesn't have like a close like water access. So usually in like villages that don't have water, they have to like carry tanks of water from far away to get their water. And this is like an innovation where they've designed a round water tank that he can just roll, and it'll be able to get more water transported easier.
Thank you, Noah. Exactly. Exactly. It is one of the African villages. Okay? As commonly, African has a shortage of water. So this boy doesn't have a water access. So he should work. He should work for 2 hours to get the access, and then come back 2 hours again with water for family. So in that situation, water is essential, really, really important resource to survive. Okay? So this boy is in charge of providing water for family. And then he used to use the traditional buckets. Okay? Then it had a lot of problems. You spill the water, it's heavy. And then real scientists invented this water tank. It looks like a tire, and it has a lid here and a single lobe. Actually, it is. This is a MIT invented water bomb. So MIT scientists invented here because they can use a fancy technology. But the problem is this boy doesn't have any resource to use fancy technology. No electricity, no gas, no strong power, no IT technology, whatever. Okay? So MIT scientists use that, invent that. That is simple too, but it helps this boy a lot. Okay? All right. So many people say this is an example of appropriate technology. Appropriate technology. Usually, when we talk about intellectual assets, technology, many people just pop up in their minds about the fancy technologies, IT, biotechnologies, and expensive ones, scientists. But actually, the technology can be anything. So think about that. James Bond, everyone knows it, right? 007. Okay. Fancy technology. Okay. Arms, weapons, hidden weapons, okay? And fancy cars, something like that. But Angus MacGyver, anyone knows him? Angus MacGyver probably is probably some of you know it, but it's a old film, acting character. So MacGyver, this guy, anyone knows him? Angus MacGyver? Julian, you know it? Please describe him in the film. I'm waiting for Julia's typing. Yeah, the big difference, MacGyver used everything, anything around him, okay? Anything around him, hairpins, right, okay? Like hairpins, anything, okay? Like just or frames, whatever. Okay? Then he solved issues. Mhm. So it's comparable. James Bond, he uses a fancy technology, and he solved a problem. MacGyver, this guy uses anything around him and solve the issues. Okay, so which one is better? In my perspective, MacGyver is much better, right? Low cost and good technology. So this is an example of appropriate technology. Actually, this concept can be applied in anywhere, even in your simulations. Okay? Marketing concept. In the marketing. Price, the most important thing in the marketing. Pricing strategy. So what price is the best? The lower, the better? Probably not. So your job should be finding an appropriate level of price in your simulation too. What the level of your service, what the level of your product, quality of product, the better performance? Probably not. You need to provide a appropriate level of product for your customers. Then you can have higher customer satisfaction. So think about that. Appropriate technology. This concept can be applied in any of your decisions in the simulations. That means this concept can be applied in any dimensions of business in the future, in your future business. So I just want to emphasize, okay? I just want to emphasize this concept, appropriate technology, okay, that can be applied in your business decision makings. Okay? Your whatever product, service, your cost, your price, your technology, okay, it doesn't need to be the highest, the lowest. Okay? You just find the appropriate level of your decisions. That's it. Then you will have a better performance. Make sense? This concept making sense? All right, great. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Grace, Julia, Walter. Okay, great. Let's move. Okay, so I told you today's topic is very simple. Jesse, any comment? Jesse, any comment? Probably not. It's accidentally turned on. Okay. All right. So let's move. All right. So intellectual capital, we already knew that. Okay. Intangible assets. Intangible assets. So where is it coming from? People, human capital, and networks of human capital, social capital. Okay. So human capital, individuals' capability, knowledge, skills, and experience. Okay. Social capital, network of individuals. Okay. All right. This is very interesting. Ratio of market value to book value. All right. Book value is 3 financial statements. Okay. And market value is a stock market price. Why these are different? Big difference actually. So book value, that's why many people do not, not to not use, but they are just proportionally, decrease the use of this book value. Okay? Look at this Apple. Market value and book value. Market value is more than 5 times of the book value. So Apple, many people highly evaluate their technologies rather than their book value. 5 times. 4 times. Okay? Especially in the IT industry. Okay? But in the automotive industry, General Motors is 1.4. So in auto industry, probably book value can work very well. Right? So you understand the difference between industries. All right. So ratio of market value to book value, people just simply saying this is a Q ratio. Q ratio, especially finance people just say Q ratio. So you should know this. Okay. So this, if some people say Q ratio, this is the market value to book value. Okay. All right. Then knowledge management is critical organizational success. Knowledge includes what? Explicit and tacit. Explicit, something like documents. It can be codified. Okay. Actually, your patent is explicit. explicit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is know-how. You cannot see it, you cannot document it. This is explicit tacit knowledge. Which one is more important? This one, tacit knowledge, because explicit knowledge can be transferable. Okay? Anytime you can transfer this knowledge, but tacit knowledge cannot. It is just exist in the people or the networks of people. So human capital. That's why we care about human capital, because intellectual assets are coming from human capital. How to attract human capital, how to develop human capital, how to retain human capital. Attracting human capital, hire for attitude, train for skill. When you hire some people, okay, you should think of some, time period. Okay? You invest in it. Nobody can be productive. Nobody can be productive at the first time of that job. Okay? So actually, you need to think as a manager, you need to hire people to train. Okay? Then they become productive. That's why hire for attitude, train for skill. Okay? That's why I'm saying. Okay? All right. Then training and development must take place at all levels of organizations. Okay? To train and development, okay, evaluating human capital is important. That's why we care about 360-degree evaluation and feedback. We talked about that already. Right? And superiors, direct reports, colleagues, and even internal and external customers can be an evaluator of an individual. This is 360-degree evaluations. Actually, we use it in our class. Okay. Retention mechanisms. Okay. Financial, non-financial rewards. Both are important. Both are important. In my case, okay, until some point, financial rewards are important too. But beyond this point, financial, it doesn't matter. But non-financial rewards is very, very important. Something like recognition and freedom to, work my own jobs, something like that. All right, then you should understand this. So far, so good. Am I too fast? If you are okay, please say yes. You with me? Okay. Thank you so much. If you have anything to discuss, please jump in. Okay, jump in it. And diversity, sound management of diverse workforce. Okay. You can reduce cost, increase product differentiations in many, many cases. But many professors, actually many scholars are worried about the diversity of very. Okay. So I saw some demographics of business school students. Okay. And female business school students are representatively characterized by female white students. Okay. So in terms of diversity, the Campbell School has a much lower than the average school. So diversity and reduce cost, increase product differentiations. Okay. With this, cost reduction, resource acquisition, marketing, creativity, problem solving, organizational flexibility. Why diversity work in this sense? Because networks of people, okay, work for this. Okay? We care people and the networks of people. Okay? Social capital. Okay, social capital. social capital, the friendships and working relationships among talented individuals help tie knowledge workers to a given firm. Interaction, sharing, and collaborations will help develop firm-specific ties with a high probability of retaining key knowledge workers. So people and networks of people, social capital. Right. So, social capital helps attract and retain talent. Yeah, of course. It's pretty obvious, right? Okay. And social network analysis. This is a visualization of social networks. Who links to whom? Who communicate to whom? This is an example of social network analysis. So look at this. Node and link. Okay. So Marie has a link with Georgie, Susan, Frank, and Bill. Georgie has some links. Fred doesn't have any link. So Fred is a what? Lonely wolf. Ooh, right? And we have some people here. Okay. All right. Who will be very important component in this network? If you choose one, who will be one you will choose in this network? Bill? Noah? Why Bill?
So you said why they would be the most important? Is that what you asked? It's because he has like the most connections around him. Well, actually, Mary, because she's linked to more people that have more connections.
All right. Oh, great point. So
Never
Bill has how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Murray has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So Bill has six links, and Murray has 4 links. That's why Bill is the most important. Okay. It makes sense too. It makes sense. Okay. And Isabella says Marie. Why Marie? Isabella?
Yeah, I was just saying Mary because she was connected to everybody, whereas, say, Bill and Frank are just connected to their dots, but Mary has a connection to all, except Fred.
All right, it's a good point too. It's a good point too. So Marie, without Marie, okay, if we don't have Marie here, then this group, this group, this group, this group cannot be connected. So Marie is most important connections. Okay, that's Isabella say. Actually, Noah's point too. Okay? Thank you, Noah, Marie, Isabella. Okay? So both points are valid. Okay? So it depends on what measures. Okay, the centrality measure. Okay, Noah point out the centrality measures. Probably Bill has the highest centrality measures because it has 6 people connected to. Frank too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, Frank has a 7. All right. Then Isabella made a valid point too. Okay. Without Marie, okay, these groups are not connected. Okay. We say this is a structural whole. Then Marie make up this structural whole. So Marie is the most important person in this group. Okay. All right. So both points are valid. Okay. Both points are valid. Okay. So it depends on the nature of the network you are looking at. Okay. Good points. Good discussions. I love it. Okay. All right. Then social network analysis, closure relationships or bridging relationships, structural holes. So we talked about this, Marie. If without Marie, this is a close relationships, this group. All right, then overcoming various collaborations, not invented here syndrome. You know this, right? Many people, I always experience internal inertia when I bring up some changes. All right, Jesse, do you have any comment? Okay, so not invented here syndrome, internal inertia. Okay, people don't like any innovations are coming from outside. Yeah, because their individual interests are not consistent with the situations. Probably Jesse has some problem with that. Okay, then search barrier and transfer barrier. I'm not gonna replicate this. Okay. Social capital, limitations, and groupthink. I just wanna emphasize this. Okay. Groupthink is really problematic. That's it. Okay. All right, then technology can leverage human capital, knowledge, and networks. Yeah, that's it. Protecting intellectual assets. Intellectual property rights are more difficult to define and protect than property rights for physical assets. So, intellectual property rights, patents, copyrights, or some other forms, like a trade secrets, something like that. Okay? All right? And this is important. You cannot trust anything to protect your intellectual property. The legal systems, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. For example, in the USA, it's much better to protect your intellectual property. But in China, hopeless. No way. Okay? Even in the US, across the industries. Okay? For example, in the biotechnology industry, biopharmaceutical industry, patent can be a great tool, very strong tool to protect your intellectual property. Okay? But in the IT industry, it's a different story. So think about that. IT technology, the nature of technology. You want to reach to this point, but there are many ways to reach this point in IT technology. Then you have a patent to reach in this way, but other firms, other companies can reach in other ways. So it's around the technology. Yeah? It says around the technology. So it depends. Right? You cannot trust anything to protect your intellectual assets. Okay? Right, dynamic capabilities, I'm talking about it already. I was talking about it. So internal process, routines, and straight decision makings, alliances, acquisitions, all of this knowledge and or activities are consistent with the changes of external internal environments. Okay? If you do this job very well, your company will be successful. Okay? So you talk about some companies, right? So recording companies, Toys R Us, and video rental companies, they didn't have enough dynamic capability to be consistent with okay, internal, external changes. Then they failed. Okay? This is the theory of dynamic capabilities. Okay. All right, that's it. See, that's a very simple topic. Okay. All right. So, any question, concerns about intellectual assets? This chapter. If you don't have any question, concern, please say no. Please. All right, great. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, good. So now we are ready to move to the next chapter. So next week, okay, Tuesday, Thursday, we're gonna talk about business level strategy, corporate level strategy. Again, these two topics, the central the fundamental ideas of strategy management. Please read the chapters very, very carefully. Then we won't have any problem. Okay, very good. Very nice discussions. Thank you so much for your contributing, your discussions. All right. Then if you don't have any question, comment, I'm gonna see you on the next Tuesday. We're gonna talk about business level strategy. All right. Thank you so much, Stephen. Marshall, thank you. Thank you, Marshall. All right. Thank you, Isabella. Thank you, Noah. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Noah. All right, good. Very nice. Let's see. Walter. Yes, we're done.